Hi, my name is Janique, and I am an owner of a health clinic called Prova Health. I contacted Test My Home because I knew that EMS was a really big problem, but I didn't know how. There's not a lot of really good education and safe sources to learn from. So I saw on Instagram that my friend had hired Ryan from Test My Home to test her home, and she said it was one of the most empowering and educational experiences she's ever had. So I immediately reached out to Ryan and I had him come to Test My Home because I wanted to learn from a real expert exactly what it was that we were dealing with. So I had no issues whatsoever. I just am all about optimizing on health and educating people about that too. And there was a gut feeling inside of me that told me that EMFs are not good for us. I didn't know how bad they were. I didn't know how they affected us. I just knew that there was something I needed to understand, because it's kind of like this ghost in our house that we know is doing something to us, but we don't know how, and we can't see it, and we can't touch it, and we can't look at it. So I needed someone to interpret to me exactly what was going on in my life so that I knew how to approach it in the future of my health and my children's health and my husband's health. So we weren't actually dealing with any issues. My husband had previously been diagnosed with colon cancer, and I've also recognized that statistics with cancers, especially blood cancers in children, is rising significantly. There is a part of me that recognizes, and there's some research that points to the fact that our environment is probably a catalyst for this rise, and I'm very protective of my children's health. I never, ever, ever want them to encounter something as traumatic as cancer. So this is why I contacted Test My Home to just make sure that we stayed on top of this so that we didn't start running into health issues. So it was very proactive and not a reactive choice that we made. I spend so much time in my home. I work from home, I play at home, I cook at home. I would say I spend 90% of my time at home. I rarely have to go into the clinic or the office. The health of my home is extremely important to me because we spend so much time here. There is nothing more important than creating a safe, sacred, and healthy space. So we didn't find a lot of mold and we didn't find a lot of chemicals because I have actually been really proactive about that. But the EMF issues were out of control, and that was the thing that I was actually really scared about. Ryan found that there was an issue with a magnetic field that wasn't being grounded properly, and so it was being completely emitted throughout the house, which is potentially very, very dangerous when you're exposed to it long term. So with that knowledge, also with the knowledge about how intense Wi-Fi's and Bluetooths and hotspots are, Ryan helped educate us to help us prevent any kind of long-term exposure to those things. So he taught us things about switching them off when we're not using them, switching everything off at night, unplugging them, because we spend a third of our life sleeping. We don't need Wi-Fi's and Bluetooths and internet while we're sleeping. So simple things like turning things off was extremely, extremely helpful. So again, not a lot of really bad things. It was just learning about the things that were already in our home and how we could protect ourselves from them. So I would say my health has been better. My sleep has actually been better. My anxiety is better because it's not a ghost that I can't see anymore. It's actually something I can understand and feel empowered to be proactive about. So my mental fatigue is greatly improved, as well as my sleep. I would absolutely recommend Test My Home to friends and family, and I think I have already to lots and lots of people, maybe 20 plus, I'm not sure. But yes, everyone needs Test My Home. There's no other company that does what Ryan does at Test My Home, because he not only goes in and finds the issues, but he also provides education around it so that you can feel empowered in your day-to-day to implement changes that will help you and your family. It was worth every penny, dime, nickel to invest in Test My Home coming to our house, and I would never look back. I think that you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure times 10. When you are sick, when you are dealing with a disease or dis-ease, you're going to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars trying to put fires out. Don't let the fire start in the first place. You will save so much money in the long run by getting Test My Home and Ryan to come and test your house. If someone was on the fence of having Test My Home come, I would say that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure again, because there's no price on health. Once you are in a dis-ease or disease state, you are miserable, you're uncomfortable, you're unhappy. Prevent that from happening. Be proactive about your health. Be proactive about your children's health, your grandchildren's health, your significant other's health. There's nothing in this world that can buy a healthy body other than preventing things from happening in the first place. So I would say if you're on the fence, really take a look at how you value your body and your health, because if you can't value it, then we need to reevaluate our priorities. Like, do we buy expensive boats? Do we buy expensive TVs? You know, these are things that give us temporary highs, but we can't even enjoy them if we don't have a healthy body. So I would say this is like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is like core stuff. So this inspection was so enlightening, so educational. It was like I was in school learning about EMFs while my house was being inspected. Ryan absolutely cares for his clients and their home that they are in. There's heart and soul in his work. It's not just the job and it's not just the paycheck to him. So how this inspection ties in with the rest of my life is, you know, health is everything. I love being healthy. I love teaching health. I love being proactive about my kids' health. If you watch the trends of our health in America, they're getting worse and worse and worse. We are using more drugs today than we have ever, and we actually use, out of all of the drugs combined that are used in the world, America uses 40% of that. That tells us we are a very unhealthy nation. We're very sick, more sick than most countries. I don't want my children to become a part of that statistic. I work with people that are sick every day. It's miserable for them. They are not happy. They are not comfortable. So this is a massive part of helping people find a pathway to health, because what if they have changed their nutrition? What if they have changed their mindset? What if they have changed their water, but they're still sick? This could be a massive missing piece that people could search for decades and never find because they're looking in the wrong area. And so this is a very important part of people's healing process, because we need to look at the health of our body and the health of our environment too.